Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I want to tell you part of my new series of 10 things I wish I knew, and that's 10 things I wish I knew about Royal Caribbean before I took my Royal Caribbean cruise. And so I'm going to talk to you about those right after this. First thing I wish I knew is to book early. Early as possible because the prices normally rise before you get to your cruise. Especially if you can book 2 years to 18 months out, that's normally the cheapest price you're going to get. Very, very rarely do the prices go down. Now, if you book that far out, quite often when you book with a travel agent and a sale comes along, they can get you that sale price if the price happens to go down. But if you are looking for that last minute sale and hoping to save a ton of money, well, put it this way, the cruise industry is up 40% uh, in the last couple of years. So very, very few ships go without selling out. So chances of you getting a bargain basement price at the last minute is very rare. It does happen, don't get me wrong, but your choices of cabin, your location on the ship, and things like that are much better the further out you book. While you can't bring alcoholic beverages on board, you can still bring 2 bottles of wine in your carry-on cases with Royal Caribbean. So if you bring those bottles to the restaurant, they will charge you a corking fee sometimes. Quite often I've seen it that they just don't bother, they just uncork it and you're not charged. Yeah, about 50% of the time. So, but if you bring it to your stateroom and open it there, there's no charge, and you get much cheaper wine that you can bring yourself on board. So remember, you can bring 2 bottles in your carry-on, not in your luggage. It's often always better to pre-purchase services before you get on board. So drink packages, water packages, spas, things like that. It's quite often to get cheaper. Royal Caribbean often offers discounts accordingly, especially for first-time cruisers. However, if you are a member and have been cruising with Royal Caribbean for quite a bit longer and you get rewards points, those rewards are not combinable with other sales that they offer. So if you get a higher discount rate through your membership, then it's cheaper to do it that way than it is to take the early booking bonus that you would get. Some people get 15 to 20% off certain services because their loyalty members are so high. However, if you're a first-time cruiser, normally it's much cheaper to buy things ahead of time. Speaking of buying things ahead of time, in the cruise planner, once you've booked your cruise, quite often they will bring up sales, maybe a 10% sale on certain shore excursions and things like that. Roughly every 6 weeks something comes up. So keep an eye on your cruise planner from every month or so and see what sale is out there. You might just save yourself a little bit of money on something you were planning on buying anyway. You see a shore excursion and you book it, and then you read something in the news or maybe a review on it and you change your mind. Don't worry, you can cancel that shore excursion and get your money back before the cruise sails. So as long as it's ahead of time and not an hour before you're going on the shore excursion, you can just get your money back and book something else. When you're booking a Royal Caribbean ship, you may be booking the same class, for instance an Oasis class ship. Well, not all Oasis class ships are exactly identical. As each ship is built in consecutive years, they notice things from the first design and they may change some things for the second ship and the third ship and the fourth ship. For instance, the one they have coming out next year has some things on it that none of the other ships will have. So even though you're booking the same class, make sure they have the things that you are actually looking for. A prime example is right now the Oasis does not have the abyss slide at the end of the ship where the other designs do. So if you're think that's something you want for the kids, well, make sure you don't book the Oasis ship. You would book like Symphony of the Seas instead. You don't always have to buy any kind of drink package. There are things available. Regular coffee, regular tea, not espressos, juices out of boxes, not freshly squeezed, tap water, hot chocolate, things like that on the ship are all free around all the different locations. So you can actually get by without paying for a single drink on Royal Caribbean as long as you're willing to drink those what's there. Don't feel obligated to buy your spa services ahead of time. It's nice to get that reservation, but actually when you get on board, you may find there are actually more services offered than what they're showing on the cruise planner. A lot of the cruise planners that they have out there are like combinations, or where you can get a facial and a foot pedicure, etc., where when you're on board, it's more broken up: pedicure, facial, hairstyle, etc., massage. You can actually buy individual, where the cruise planner tends to combine some. So you're actually buying more than you may actually want. So if you're looking for just individual spa services, you can wait till on board. They very rarely sell out of everything. Some of the class ships on Royal Caribbean have the built-in satellite for their internet services. So if internet is important to you and you're looking to connect with people back home while you're on the ship, make sure that whatever ship you're looking at has their Zoom, their high efficiency internet, because it is actually one of the fastest internets at sea. A lot faster than a lot of other cruise lines. So you can actually do live streaming on some of their ships. So ask when you're booking what kind of internet they have, and if that's important to you, you may decide which ship you actually want to book on. When you go up to the bar and you got your drink package, or even if you're just buying a drink and you say, yes, you know what, give me a rum and coke, you can actually say what brand of rum that you would like in that rum and coke. They quite often have 3 and 4 different types of brands back there, and if you have one that you particularly like, then why not ask for it and get what you want? So don't be afraid, don't be shy, go ahead and ask the server for your brand of alcohol. They may just have it, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Once again, if we're going with a drink package and you have the bottled water included in your drink package, every time you decide to head back to your stateroom, just stop by a bar or in the restaurant that you happen to be in and ask for a bottle of water. Take that bottle of water with you back to your stateroom. If you return to your stateroom for any reason, say 3, 4, 5 times a day, and by the end of the day you have 5 bottles of water. First of all, you have 5 bottles of water in your fridge. For when you're there at night, you don't have to go wandering around the ship to find some. It's already conveniently there for you. As well as when you're heading to your shore excursion every morning, you don't have to look to pick up some bottles of water. It's already cold and it's right there in your fridge. You just put them in your backpack and you're all set to go. Something I do whenever I have the drink package, I grab that bottle of water every time I'm heading back to the stateroom, because it just saves doing it later. If you really want to try the FlowRider, but you're embarrassed because, you see people out there and they're really good at it, well, chances are the people who are really good at it are usually the staff. But, because I know when I do it, I'm not really good at it and I'll fall very quickly. But that being said, if you really want to learn how to do it, you can actually book private lessons on the FlowRider, where you can get up there and they will teach you how to do this so you can look like that pro next time. Can you imagine? You go on one cruise and you book a private lesson, you learn how to do it, you're 75 years old, and then the next cruise you go on, there's the FlowRider, and all these young guys and girls are looking at you going, oh, watch, this guy's gonna fall, and you put them to shame because you've had the lessons. That would be so cool. I'm showing my age, aren't I? Yeah, I think I am. The Royal Caribbean shows are not, on most of the large ships especially, are not, just show up and you can get in. Most of them are by appointment, so reservation. You go and you book going to their Broadway show at a particular time. The reason for this is, some of those ships hold nearly 6,000 passengers, so they have a particular popular show, like a popular comedian on board, and you're going to go into the theater. Well, maybe 5,000 other people want to see that comedian as well, and no one will fit, and there'll be lineups. So what they do is they make reservations, and there is a standby line at the last minute for people who cancel, but if you want the really good seats, you want to make your reservations ahead of time. So if there's any shows that you're really looking forward to, make sure you book them, because if you show up and there's no more seats, you're just out of luck. So right now, we're talking June 2018, so if you watch this video a year from now and things have changed, I'm sorry, but as of right now, most of the things on Royal Caribbean, entertainment-wise, the FlowRider, the zip line, the mini golf, the climbing wall, are all included in the fares of the cruise. You can get private lessons for the rock climbing, private lessons for the FlowRider, but everything is free. Roller skating is free, the ice skating is free on the certain ships. Unlike other cruise lines who, for their specialty entertainment items, for instance, the Blizz, starts to charge you for their popular go-karts that are on board. So that may start happening in the future, but right now with Royal Caribbean, all that entertainment is yours for the grabbing, absolutely free. There you go. There's just a few things that I wish I knew before I went on my first Royal Caribbean cruise. I remember being so lost going on the Oasis my first time, even though I was pretty much a seasoned cruiser. Every cruise line has their own personalities and their own functions, and I was used to, say, Princess, where I could just go on board, go to the shows, and if I wanted to see the show again at 9 o'clock, I could stay and go see the show again at 9 o'clock. You can't do that with Royal Caribbean, so there are distinct differences. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more tips, tricks, and travel tips around the world, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.